Hi, Rich Hoffman here. Happy to see that we finally are out of the World Health Organization, the United States. Happened during the Davos event. Trump signed the executive order a long time ago. It's taken a while to peel it back. It's about time, and it's a great thing. And for all those people out there saying, well, but we need the World Health Organization. No, you don't. One of the biggest problems with the World Health Organization, and again, it was sponsored heavily by China, no one's paid for it the way they need to pay for it. China was involved in unleashing COVID, and World Health Organization sold it from centralized medical authority, and you had a lot of goofy people like Amy Acton, who was working in the DeWine administration, that shut down Ohio because of their bad policies, their bad advice. And we had a CDC that was plugged right into them, and it's just a terrible, detrimental thing. We can never allow it to happen again. But here's the thing, it's really the deal, and why you gotta separate yourselves from centralized health authorities. If you haven't paid attention in the world, the way to control people is to control their access to life or health. And going back to the lessons of Jesus Christ and all the miracles he performed, would Christianity would have grown the way it was if Jesus didn't perform miracles? If he didn't go out and heal people and show people that he can magically help them out and resurrect them, raise them from the dead, get rid of leprosy, heal people spiritually, push out demons. If he wasn't doing all that stuff, would people have followed him? Would people have listened to this guy uttering all these great gospels and talking about all this great philosophic stuff? The sad truth of it is, people only started following when they thought that there were miracles and that he could heal them in some way. And we found that all through history. If you go to the core tenets of Scientology and Dianetics, where you have this idea of getting rid of engrams on people, bad spiritual energy that gets on and attaches itself to people through bad lived experiences, and through the science of Dianetics, you can push away all those engrams and have a healthy life. And all centers around healing. You'll find that even doctors, there's a lot of power that doctors gain over others by being the healer. So there's an ailment and someone can fix it, and then they follow the person that fixes it because they want to live. So governments of the world, of course, have wanted to take these examples and mimic them for themselves and gain control over health and health care. And the answer to health care is not more government. Government wants to use your sickness to gain power over you. And that's the message, and that's what happened with the World Health Organization. And why we had to get rid of it, what they did, we funded way too much of it. It tied us to a communist country, China. And China ended up setting the policies to gain communist control over the entire world through socialist mechanisms. And they used healthcare to do it. And that's why the Obama people wanted to have control over healthcare in the United States and wanted to control a major part of the economy, because when you control whether people live or die, you're going to control them as people. And going back to Jesus gained a lot of followers because he healed the sick, and people didn't listen to him because they wanted to stay alive, and they thought, wow, this guy's got some great miracles, he must be the Son of God and he can heal me, so I'm going to listen to him. And then you gained a great following. But without the miracles, without the healing, a lot of people wouldn't listen. And when you go around, you read books like Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology stuff, and you wonder why anybody follows anybody. Well, they want that people will listen to anybody who promises to not make them sick or heal them from a sickened state. And when governments have figured out that if they can control people's will to live or their desire to live or their fear of death, by some means, then they were going to do it and hold it over people's heads. So when the World Health Organization gained the kind of power that it did and used it to ill effect, which was proven during COVID, they had to be punished for it. The United States had to pull away from it, and you can't chain yourself to this kind of government oversight over healthcare. And if you truly want to fix people, like I say all the time, it's a stem cell research, it's a the healing mechanisms that we already had when we were infants. I've probably said it for over 40 years now. With healthcare, the way we've created medicine has been to gain power over people, not to heal people and give them back their independence. We want them in a sickened state so that they have to come to us for their health care benefits, whether it's Medicaid, whether it's funding, whatever mechanism it is that we're trying to give them, health insurance. They have to be tied to some employer because they got to have the insurance so they can stay alive a little bit longer. That kind of thing has been detrimental, and it's only been exacerbated over the years, and the World Health Organization was taking those lessons as it was becoming more and more detrimental and been given a centralized authority to a one world rule. And they were ruling through health care, the access to health care. And when people had to stay alive a little bit longer, they turned to government so that they could give government power so they could live a little bit. The same thing that religions of the world have embodied for since the beginning of time. The shaman, the medicine man, the people who in any kind of tribal council would heal the sick in order to gain power over the community and show that they had access to the infinite wisdom that's outside life itself, and that they had access to it, so they gained great power. So then people would follow them then. Controlling the health of civilization, whether it's through food, anywhere where you're controlling what people have access to in order to live another day, gives you power over those people. And the real issue, if you really want to have a proper society that is built around proper health care, you treat people to be independent. You give them the ability to treat themselves, and it's all available. The problem is everybody, including the big pharma companies, want to have control over individual lives. Governments want to have control over individual lives. Pharmacies, corporations, governments of the world. This idea of globalism, everybody wants to control everybody else. And the best way to get people to listen to you is through controlling whether they live or die. And you do that through healthcare control. And it's been a scam from the beginning. It was constructed as a scam, the whole World Health Organization idea. And we saw it. We saw them make their move during COVID, and they went for the jugular of society, went for full socialist enterprise across the world, and the World Health Organization orchestrated it with the China pulling the strings. And it was devastating. And we can't allow it to stand. Instead, you have to go the other way. You have to go towards individual care, where everybody is personally able to heal themselves. And that's very possible scientifically. But you have to have a political order that will put their arm around it and allow it to happen. And right now it's been suppressed because governments want to have control. Corporations want control. Everybody wants to have control over everybody else. And the World Health Organization was a mechanism to do that. And we saw it overtly. We were talking about Amy Acton wants to run for governor in Ohio, and I call her the lockdown lady. And that's her nickname because her policies, she followed Dr. Fauci. Everybody was reading off the memo that came from the CDC, which came straight from the World Health Organization. So we had to dump it, had to get rid of it, had to separate ourselves from it. And once we did, and now that we have officially, you can finally have proper healthcare policy without their influence in it. So you have to have competitive models if you really want to solve healthcare. But the best health care is not to get sick. But the problem is all these tyrannical organizations want to have control over everybody else, and they don't want you. They want you in a sickened state so that they can perform their miracles and keep you alive and get you to follow them. And it doesn't matter what religion you're talking about. The performance of miracles is the way to get the masses to follow you, and that's certainly what they've been doing at the World Health Organization, trying to mimic religion through the governmental power over all individual lives and determine who lives and who dies, and get everybody to come to their doorstep for the answers in order to survive just a little bit longer in life. And once they control the amount of money that it takes to make healthcare work, then they control every aspect of your life. And as long as that model is driving everybody's healthcare culture, which is what it was doing, it's holding everybody down under the thumb of global government. And that's not what we wanted, ever. And I'm happy to see that the United States finally pulled out of the World Health Organization. It's about time. Really good to see. Anyway, it's Rich Hoffman here. Share, subscribe, make tomorrow a better day. If you haven't read my book, The Gunfighter's Guide to Business, I think you'll love it. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.